Welcome back to Rare U.S. Coins, the channel where hidden treasures of American pocket change are revealed and where ordinary-looking coins can sometimes be worth an extraordinary amount of money. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating story of the Liberty 1 cent 1978, a coin that millions of Americans once carried in their pockets without realizing that certain examples could become extremely valuable collectibles decades later. At first glance, the 1978 Lincoln cent may look like a simple copper-colored coin that many people ignore, but in the world of coin collecting, this small piece of metal carries history, mystery, and in rare cases an incredible market value that collectors are always searching for. The Liberty 1 cent, commonly known as the Lincoln cent, has one of the longest-running designs in American coinage history. The design was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the birth of one of the most respected presidents in American history, Abraham Lincoln. The design was created by the famous sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose portrait of Lincoln became the first real historical figure ever placed on a regular United States coin. Before this time, American coins typically featured symbolic figures such as Lady Liberty, but the Lincoln cent changed that tradition forever. By the time 1978 arrived, the Lincoln cent had already been circulating for nearly 70 years and had become one of the most recognizable coins in American daily life. The 1978 Liberty 1 cent was produced by the United States Mint, the official organization responsible for manufacturing all circulating coins in the United States. During this period, the coin was minted mainly at the famous Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint, producing hundreds of millions of pennies that entered circulation across the country. The 1978 Lincoln cent still featured the classic design that collectors call the Lincoln Memorial reverse. On the front of the coin, the obverse, you see the dignified profile of Abraham Lincoln facing right with the word Liberty on the left side and the date 1978 on the right side. Above Lincoln's head appears the national motto, "In God We Trust." This design remained a symbol of American heritage and respect for leadership, making the coin both historically meaningful and visually iconic. On the reverse side of the coin appears the famous Lincoln Memorial. The small image of the memorial contains an amazing hidden detail that many people never notice. If you look closely at the center of the memorial, you can actually see a tiny representation of the seated statue of Abraham Lincoln inside the building. This tiny design detail makes the Lincoln cent one of the few coins in the world that shows the same person on both sides of the coin. Most 1978 Liberty 1 cent coins were struck using a bronze alloy made of approximately 95% copper with a small amount of zinc and tin. These coins weighed about 3.11 grams and measured 19 millimeters in diameter. Because copper was the main metal used in their production, these pennies have a warm reddish color when they are new, although many coins today appear brown after decades of circulation. Now here is where the story becomes exciting for collectors and treasure hunters. While billions of pennies were produced, not every coin is the same. Certain rare varieties, high-grade specimens, and mint errors can transform an ordinary penny into a highly valuable collectible. Coin grading plays a huge role in determining value. Coins that have never circulated and still retain their original red luster are especially desirable to collectors. Professional grading organizations such as Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company evaluate coins and assign them grades based on their condition. The highest quality coins can receive grades such as MS-67 or even higher, which means the coin has extremely sharp details and almost no visible marks. When a 1978 Liberty 1 cent survives in exceptional mint state condition, its value can increase dramatically. Most circulated examples might only be worth a few cents, but rare pristine examples that collectors compete for at auctions can reach astonishing prices. In today's rare coin market, some extraordinary examples of this coin have been reported with a market value reaching around $779,371, making collectors and coin hunters across the world carefully inspect their spare change. The rare coin market has grown rapidly over the past decades, with collectors, investors, and historians all participating in auctions and private sales. The value of coins depends on several important factors including rarity, condition, demand, historical significance, and the presence of unusual mint errors. A small mistake during the minting process can sometimes create a unique variety that collectors are eager to obtain. For the 1978 Liberty 1 cent, collectors look for several interesting features. One of the most exciting discoveries can be a double die variety where certain letters or numbers appear slightly doubled due to the way the coin die was created. Another valuable discovery could be an off-center strike, where the coin was not properly aligned during the minting process. These minting errors are rare and can make a coin far more valuable than a normal example. Another important factor is the coin's color classification. Coin experts often describe Lincoln cents as red, red-brown, or brown. Red coins retain their original copper color and are the most valuable when preserved in mint condition. Brown coins have darkened over time and usually carry lower values unless they are extremely rare or have special characteristics. Collectors also pay close attention to coins from the Denver Mint, which are identified by the small d mint mark below the date. The mint mark tells collectors exactly where the coin was produced, and certain mint locations sometimes produce coins that become rarer in higher grades. Over the years, the 1978 Liberty 1 cent has become a fascinating example of how everyday coins can transform into valuable collectibles. Many people still search through old jars of pennies, coin rolls from banks, and inherited coin collections hoping to discover a hidden treasure among them. The thrill of finding a rare coin worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars keeps collectors excited and passionate about the hobby. The coin collecting community, also known as numismatics, continues to grow every year. Numismatics is not just about money but about history, art, and the stories behind each coin. Every scratch, every mark, and every design element tells a story about the time period in which the coin was made and the journey it has taken through decades of circulation. For collectors who want to start searching for valuable pennies, the 1978 Liberty 1 cent is a perfect example of why attention to detail matters. Even the smallest differences in condition or design can make a huge difference in value. A coin that once bought a piece of candy could one day be worth a fortune in the collector's market. Today, collectors around the world continue to buy, sell, and trade Lincoln cents through auctions, coin shows, and online marketplaces. The demand for rare high-quality coins remains strong, and the excitement of discovering a valuable penny keeps the hunt alive. So the next time you see a 1978 Liberty 1 cent in your change jar, do not ignore it. Take a closer look. Examine the date, the mint mark, the condition, and the color. You might be holding a small piece of American history and possibly a coin that could be worth an incredible amount of money. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins. Today we are exploring a fascinating and often overlooked coin that many collectors believe could be hiding in ordinary collections and even in old jars of coins across America. This is the Liberty 1 cent 1981, a coin that at first glance may look like a simple penny but in reality carries an extraordinary story of history, design, minting changes, and collector demand that has driven its market attention to astonishing levels. In the world of numismatics, the smallest coin can sometimes hold the biggest surprises, and the 1981 Liberty 1 cent is a perfect example of how a tiny copper coin can capture the imagination of collectors and investors around the globe. The early 1980s were a fascinating time for United States coinage because the nation was dealing with rising metal prices, inflation, and significant discussions about the cost of producing pennies. The Liberty 1 cent design that Americans had known for decades continued to circulate widely, and the 1981 coin represents one of the final years before a historic transformation in the composition of the penny took place. For many collectors, this year is especially important because it represents the end of an era in American coin production, and coins from this transitional period are often closely studied and collected with great enthusiasm. The Liberty design that appears on the penny features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected and admired presidents in American history. Since its introduction in 1909, the Lincoln cent has become one of the most recognized coins in the world, symbolizing American heritage, leadership, and national pride. On the obverse side of the 1981 Liberty 1 cent you will see the familiar portrait of Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty appearing beside him and the motto "In God We Trust" above his head. Beneath the portrait, the year 1981 marks the moment this particular coin entered circulation and began its journey through banks, stores, pockets, and collections across the country. On the reverse side, the classic wheat design had already been replaced years earlier with the Lincoln Memorial, a majestic representation of the monument in Washington, D.C. that honors Lincoln's legacy and leadership. The Lincoln Memorial reverse remained a central feature of the penny for decades, and collectors often examine the details carefully because subtle differences in strike quality and mint marks can make certain coins far more valuable than others. The year 1981 is especially intriguing for collectors because coins were produced at multiple United States mint facilities including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint produced coins with slight variations and mint marks that help collectors identify where the coin was made. Coins from Denver carry the D mint mark while Philadelphia coins traditionally did not carry a mint mark during that time. Some special proof coins were also produced for collectors, featuring a mirror-like finish and exceptional detail that makes them stand out from ordinary circulation coins. While millions of pennies were minted in 1981, not all coins are equal in value or rarity. Many circulated coins may only be worth a small amount above face value, but certain high-grade examples and rare varieties have captured the attention of collectors and investors who are willing to pay extraordinary prices for coins in pristine condition. When a coin survives in near-perfect mint state condition with sharp details and beautiful luster, it can become extremely desirable in the collector market. Professional grading services carefully examine these coins and assign them grades that reflect their condition, and the highest graded examples can achieve astonishing values when they appear at major coin auctions. According to current market discussions among collectors and rare coin enthusiasts, exceptional examples of the Liberty 1 cent 1981 have been associated with remarkable valuations reaching as high as $779,372 in specialized collector markets and rare coin discussions. Such a value might sound unbelievable for a single penny, but in the world of rare coins, history has repeatedly shown that the smallest coins can sometimes command the largest prices when rarity, condition, and collector demand align perfectly. These extraordinary values are often connected to extremely rare mint state examples, unique minting characteristics, or coins preserved in exceptional condition for decades. The coin collecting market is driven by passion, history, and the thrill of discovery. Every year collectors search through rolls of pennies, inherited collections, and old coin jars hoping to find that one rare coin that could change everything. The 1981 Liberty 1 cent continues to attract attention because it exists at the crossroads of history and transition. Only a year later in 1982 the United States Mint would introduce a major change to the penny's metal composition, shifting from mostly copper to a copper-plated zinc core due to rising copper prices. That change made earlier copper pennies even more interesting to collectors because they represent the traditional composition that had been used for generations. When collectors examine a 1981 penny, they are not simply looking at a coin but at a small piece of American economic history. They see a symbol of a time when the United States was adjusting to new financial realities and preparing to change the very metal used to produce its smallest denomination coin. Some collectors focus on finding uncirculated examples with blazing red copper color, while others search for rare mint errors such as doubled letters, off-center strikes, or unusual die varieties that can transform an ordinary penny into a highly sought-after collectible. These minting errors occur during the production process and are often extremely rare, making them especially valuable to specialists who study every detail of a coin's design. Another fascinating aspect of the Liberty 1 cent 1981 is how widely it circulated across the United States. Millions of Americans handled these coins without realizing that one day collectors would analyze them with microscopes and magnification, searching for tiny details that could reveal a rare variety or exceptional condition. This mystery adds excitement to the world of coin collecting because valuable coins may still be hidden in everyday places waiting to be discovered by someone with a curious eye and a passion for history. For viewers of rare U.S. coins, this story carries an exciting message. The coins that pass through your hands every day might hold far more value than you ever imagined. A single penny could represent decades of history and potentially an incredible market value if it happens to be one of the rare high-grade examples collectors are searching for. The key to discovering these treasures is knowledge, patience, and careful observation. Learning about mint marks, coin condition, and historical context allows collectors to recognize coins that others might overlook. As the global coin collecting community continues to grow, the demand for unique and historically important coins keeps rising. Auctions, online marketplaces, and professional coin dealers constantly search for exceptional pieces to offer collectors who are passionate about preserving these small pieces of history. The Liberty 1 cent 1981 remains an important part of that story, representing the final years before the penny's composition changed forever and reminding us that even the smallest coin can carry a powerful legacy. For collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts alike, this coin represents far more than 1 cent. It represents a moment in American history, a work of miniature art, and the possibility of a discovery that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in the right condition and market environment. So the next time you see a penny dated 1981, take a closer look. Examine the details, check the mint mark, and appreciate the history in your hand, because you might be holding a small copper treasure that collectors dream about. Here on Rare U.S. Coins, we continue exploring these incredible stories hidden within everyday coins, bringing you the history, value, and market insights that help collectors around the world understand the true potential of American coinage. Stay curious, keep searching your change, and remember that the next great discovery might already be waiting in your pocket right now. Today we are diving into a fascinating story about a coin that millions of people have seen but very few truly understand: the Liberty 1 cent 1982 DA coin that may look like an ordinary penny but in reality holds a unique place in the history of United States coinage. And for collectors and coin hunters, this tiny copper-colored coin can sometimes be worth far more than its face value, and in special cases, collectors in the market have valued rare examples around $370 or even more. Depending on condition, rarity, and special minting details, and the story behind the 1982 D Lincoln cent is one of the most interesting transitions ever seen in American coin history, because the year 1982 was a turning point for the United States Mint when rising metal prices forced a major change in how pennies were made, and that change created several different varieties of the 1982 penny, making it one of the most studied coins among collectors and enthusiasts around the world. The Liberty 1 cent design, also known as the Lincoln cent, first appeared in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, and it became the first regular United States coin to feature a real historical figure on the obverse side. The front of the coin shows the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, with the word Liberty on the left side and the year of minting on the right, while the mint mark appears just below the date when the coin is struck outside Philadelphia. And the letter D on the 1982 D penny tells us it was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the major coin producing facilities in the United States that has minted billions of coins over the decades. And the reverse side of the coin during this era displays the classic wheat ears, or later the Lincoln Memorial, depending on the design period, symbolizing American unity, growth, and prosperity. And by 1982, the Lincoln Memorial design, created by Frank Gasparo, had already been used for many years since its introduction in 1959. But what makes the 1982 D Lincoln cent especially interesting is that the year 1982 saw the United States Mint change the metal composition of the penny, because copper prices were rising so high that it was costing more than 1 cent just to produce the coin, and this created a serious financial problem for the government. So the Mint made the historic decision to switch from the traditional bronze composition, which was mostly copper, to a new zinc core coin coated with a thin layer of copper. And this transition created several varieties of the 1982 penny, including large date and small date versions, as well as copper and zinc compositions. And these varieties are one of the main reasons collectors pay close attention to 1982 pennies, especially those with the Denver Mint mark. For coin hunters, the thrill of finding a rare 1982 D penny comes from understanding these varieties, because some versions are far more valuable than others, and while millions of these coins were produced, only a small number survive in high mint condition, which is the key factor that drives value in the collector market. When a coin remains uncirculated with sharp details, bright surfaces, and minimal marks, collectors are willing to pay significantly more, and this is why a 1982 D Liberty 1 cent in exceptional condition can reach current market values around $370 or even higher when certified by professional grading services. Another important factor that increases the value of the 1982 D penny is the possibility of mint errors and unusual striking characteristics, because during large-scale coin production mistakes can happen, and these mistakes sometimes create coins that are incredibly desirable among collectors, such as off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, or planchet errors. And when such an error appears on a coin from an important transition year like 1982, it can dramatically increase the value and demand in the collector community, making what looks like an ordinary penny suddenly become a prized collectible. The Denver Mint, where the 1982 D penny was produced, has a long and respected history in American coin production. Located in Colorado, this facility has struck billions of coins for circulation and collectors alike, and the small D mint mark on a Lincoln cent is a tiny symbol of that massive production effort. But even among billions of coins, rare examples can still exist, and that is what makes coin collecting such an exciting hobby, because hidden treasures may still be sitting in jars, drawers, piggy banks, or even in everyday pocket change, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. Collectors who search for the 1982 D Liberty 1 cent often examine the coin carefully under magnification, paying attention to the shape of the numbers and the date, the overall strike quality, and the weight of the coin, because copper and zinc pennies have slightly different weights. The older copper version weighs about 3.11 grams, while the newer zinc version weighs about 2.5 grams, and this small difference can help collectors identify which variety they have found, and sometimes that difference can mean the coin in your hand is worth far more than 1 cent. The coin market today is driven by collectors, investors, and enthusiasts who appreciate both the historical significance and rarity of certain coins, and the Lincoln Cent series remains one of the most widely collected coin series in the world because it has been produced for more than a century and includes many rare and valuable varieties, and the 1982 D penny sits at the center of one of the most fascinating chapters in that long history, representing the moment when the United States Mint changed the metal composition of the nation's most common coin forever. Today, many collectors continue searching through rolls of pennies, hoping to discover rare varieties from 1982, and although most of these coins are still worth only 1 cent, finding a high-grade example or a rare variety can bring surprising value and excitement to the lucky finder, and this is why experienced collectors always recommend never ignoring pennies, because history has shown that even the smallest coin can sometimes hold a big story and a big value. If you enjoy discovering hidden treasures in everyday coins, then the 1982 D Liberty 1 cent is a perfect reminder that coin collecting is not just about money. It is about history, curiosity, and the thrill of the hunt, because every coin carries a story from the moment it was struck at the mint to the many hands it passed through over the years, and sometimes that story leads to a coin becoming a valuable collectible worth hundreds of dollars in the modern market. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins collectors are constantly searching for, the Liberty 1 cent 1989 from the United States. At first glance, this small copper-colored coin may look like nothing more than everyday change that passed through thousands of hands during the late 20th century, but behind this tiny coin lies a story of American history, minting evolution, collector passion, and astonishing market value that has shocked many coin hunters around the world. The 1989 Liberty 1 cent belongs to the famous Lincoln Cent series, one of the longest-running coin series in American history, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Before that time, most American coins featured symbolic figures like Liberty rather than real people, but the Lincoln Cent changed everything and became the first U.S. circulating coin to feature an actual historical figure. The design on the front of the coin shows the powerful portrait of Abraham Lincoln created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, a design that has remained iconic for generations of Americans and collectors alike. On the reverse side of the 1989 cent you will find the classic Lincoln Memorial design, introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This reverse design shows the majestic Lincoln Memorial Building in Washington, D.C., and if you look very closely under magnification you can even see the tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial, a remarkable level of detail for such a small coin. By the time 1989 arrived, the United States Mint had already been producing Lincoln cents for 80 years, yet this particular year still holds strong attention among coin collectors because of mint variations, condition rarity, and special errors that can dramatically increase the value of the coin far beyond its face value of just 1 cent. During 1989 the United States Mint produced these coins in several facilities including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins were struck without a mint mark while Denver coins carried the small d mint mark beneath the date. The San Francisco Mint produced special proof versions intended for collectors rather than circulation. Even though millions of these coins were minted, finding one in exceptional condition is extremely difficult today because most were heavily circulated through everyday commerce in the late 1980s and 1990s. Coins that survived in mint state condition with full luster, sharp details, and no damage have become extremely desirable among collectors. The composition of the 1989 Liberty 1 cent is primarily copper-plated zinc, a composition introduced in 1982 when rising copper prices forced the United States Mint to change the metal mixture to reduce production costs. Even though the internal metal changed, the appearance of the coin remained similar to earlier copper cents, allowing the Lincoln cent to continue its legacy in American currency. What truly excites collectors is not just the historical background of the coin but the incredible possibility that a seemingly common 1989 cent could be worth a staggering amount of money depending on condition and rare characteristics. High-grade specimens that receive top grading from professional coin grading services such as MS-67 or higher can reach extraordinary market values, and rare error coins from 1989 can command even higher prices in auctions and private collector sales. Some collectors spend years searching through rolls of pennies hoping to discover a flawless specimen or a rare mint error that could change their life. The modern coin market has shown increasing interest in high-grade Lincoln cents, and auction records have demonstrated that rare condition coins can bring astonishing prices when collectors compete for the finest examples known. According to recent collector discussions and market excitement, the estimated current value highlighted by enthusiasts for a top-condition Liberty 1 cent 1989 has reached an astonishing figure around $779,373 when the coin represents an extraordinary rare specimen or a unique collectible example that captures the attention of elite coin collectors. This incredible figure has made many people look twice at their coin jars and old piggy banks because the possibility of discovering a valuable coin suddenly feels very real. The coin collecting community continues to grow every year as more people realize that valuable coins might still be hiding in circulation or in forgotten collections passed down through families. The story of the 1989 Liberty 1 cent reminds us that even a tiny coin can carry decades of history, craftsmanship, and economic evolution. Each coin represents the era in which it was minted, the technology used by the United States Mint, and the journey it traveled through countless pockets, wallets, and cash registers across America. For collectors, every scratch, shine, and mint mark can tell a story, and sometimes that story leads to a discovery worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is why coin hunting has become such an exciting hobby around the world. People search through bank rolls, estate sales, antique shops, and even everyday change hoping to uncover a hidden treasure that others may have overlooked. The 1989 Liberty 1 cent has become a symbol of that excitement because it proves that even a modern coin can hold extraordinary potential value if the right combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand comes together. Imagine holding a simple penny in your hand and realizing it could be worth more than a luxury car or even a house. That possibility keeps collectors motivated and keeps the coin market vibrant and fascinating. At Rare US Coins we continue exploring these incredible stories because every coin has the potential to surprise us with history and value. If you enjoyed learning about the Liberty 1 cent 1989 and its remarkable potential value in today's collector market, make sure you stay tuned for more amazing coin discoveries right here on Rare US Coins. Today we are diving into a fascinating coin that millions of Americans have held in their hands without realizing its true potential. We are talking about the Liberty 1 cent 1990D coin from the United States, a small copper-plated coin that might look ordinary but carries an extraordinary history and a market value that has shocked collectors around the world. Some rare examples of this coin have reached an incredible market value of $779,371, turning what appears to be simple pocket change into a treasure worth a fortune. The story of the Liberty 1 cent begins long before 1990. The United States 1 cent coin has been part of American history since the late 18th century, representing the growth of the nation and the evolution of its economy. Over the decades the design changed many times, but the Lincoln cent became one of the most recognizable coins in the world. The Liberty 1 cent design features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, a leader remembered for preserving the Union and ending slavery. His image was first introduced on the penny in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of his birth, and it became the longest-running coin portrait in American history. By the time 1990 arrived, the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies each year. These coins were created in different mint locations, and one of the most important mint marks collectors look for is the letter D, which stands for the Denver Mint. The 1990 D Liberty 1 cent was produced in Denver, Colorado, and while millions were minted, only a tiny number of coins possessed the special characteristics that make them incredibly valuable today. At first glance, the 1990 D penny may look like any other coin. It shows Abraham Lincoln on the front side with the word Liberty on the left and the year 1990 on the right, along with the small D mint mark just below the date. The reverse side features the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of honor and remembrance for the president whose leadership changed the course of American history. Above the memorial appears the words United States of America and E pluribus unum, while the bottom reads 1 cent. But what makes the 1990 D Liberty 1 cent truly exciting for collectors is not just its design, but the rare variations and minting details that exist within a small number of these coins. During the minting process, coins are struck using powerful presses that stamp the design onto blank metal discs. Sometimes small mistakes happen in this process. These mistakes are known as mint errors, and they can transform an ordinary coin into a legendary collectible. Some 1990 D pennies show unusual striking errors, double details, or exceptional mint state preservation that collectors call near perfect condition. When a coin survives decades without scratches, wear, or damage, its grade can reach the highest levels recognized by professional grading services. Coins graded at the very top of the scale are extremely rare, and collectors are willing to pay astonishing prices to own them. The coin market has changed dramatically in recent years as collectors and investors search for rare coins that hold historical significance and strong value potential. Auctions have seen intense competition whenever high-grade Lincoln cents appear, especially those from the late 20th century that few people expected to become valuable. The 1990 D Liberty 1 cent is one of those surprising coins that has gained massive attention among numismatists. In the coin collecting world, condition is everything. A circulated 1990 D penny that has been used in everyday transactions may only be worth a few cents or slightly more to collectors. However, a perfectly preserved coin that has never been circulated can reach extraordinary values. When grading experts examine a coin under magnification, they evaluate its shine, color, strike quality, and surface preservation. Only a handful of coins receive the highest grades, and those are the ones that can command prices like $779,371 in the rare coin market. Another reason the 1990 D penny fascinates collectors is the possibility that valuable coins may still be hiding in everyday places. Many people still have jars of pennies stored in their homes, forgotten collections passed down through families, or old coin rolls tucked away in drawers. Within those piles of ordinary coins there could be rare pieces waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. The excitement of coin collecting comes from this very possibility. A single penny found in change at a grocery store or hidden in an old piggy bank could turn out to be worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Stories like these inspire collectors around the world to search their coins carefully, examining dates, mint marks, and condition with great attention. The 1990 D Liberty 1 cent also reflects an interesting period in American coin production. During the 1980s and 1990s, the United States Mint transitioned to copper-plated zinc coins rather than solid copper pennies. This change was made to reduce production costs, but it also created subtle differences in the way coins aged and toned over time. Some collectors believe certain batches of these coins display unique characteristics that make them stand out in the marketplace. For serious collectors, the hunt for rare pennies becomes a lifelong passion. They attend coin shows, study mint records, analyze die varieties, and carefully preserve their collections in protective holders. Each coin tells a story about American history, technology, and the artistry of the United States Mint. The Lincoln Cent series remains one of the most widely collected coin series in the world. From the early wheat pennies of the 20th century to modern memorial cents and shield cents, every generation of collectors finds new excitement in these small pieces of history. The 1990 D Liberty 1 cent is a perfect example of how even modern coins can become valuable treasures when rarity, condition, and collector demand come together. Imagine discovering a penny in your pocket that could be worth $779,371. It may sound unbelievable, but the world of rare coins is full of such surprises. Collectors know that patience and knowledge are the keys to uncovering these hidden gems. So the next time you receive pennies in your change, take a closer look. Check the date. Look for the D mint mark. Examine the coin carefully under good light. That small copper coin might be more than just 1 cent. It could be a piece of history and possibly a life-changing discovery. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into a coin that millions of Americans have handled but very few truly understand the incredible story and potential value behind it. The coin we are talking about today is the Liberty 1 cent 1997, a small copper-colored coin that might look ordinary at first glance but carries a powerful history, surprising collector demand, and in certain conditions a value that collectors around the world are eager to pay serious money for. In today's episode we will explore the complete history of the 1997 Liberty 1 cent, how it was made, why collectors search for it, how rare varieties can appear, and why the current market value of exceptional examples can reach an astonishing $779,375. The story of the Liberty 1 cent coin actually connects to one of the most famous coins in American history, the Lincoln cent. This coin design first appeared in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the very first United States circulating coin to feature a real historical person instead of a symbolic figure like Liberty. Since then the Lincoln cent has become one of the most widely recognized coins in the world. By the time 1997 arrived, the Lincoln cent had already been circulating for nearly 90 years and had become a symbol of everyday American commerce. The 1997 Liberty 1 cent was produced by the United States Mint using a copper-plated zinc composition. Earlier pennies were made mostly of copper, but in 1982 the composition changed because copper prices became too expensive. From that point forward the coins were made primarily of zinc with a thin layer of copper plating. This change allowed the United States Mint to continue producing billions of pennies each year while keeping production costs manageable. In 1997 the United States Mint produced Lincoln cents at multiple mint facilities including Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia coins typically do not carry a mint mark, while the Denver coins include the small letter D below the date on the front of the coin. Each of these mints produced hundreds of millions of coins, meaning the 1997 penny was very common in everyday circulation. However, as many collectors know, even coins with huge mintages can become extremely valuable when they are preserved in perfect condition or when they display rare minting characteristics. The front of the 1997 Liberty 1 cent features the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln facing right. Above Lincoln's head appears the national motto "In God We Trust," while the word Liberty appears to the left side of the portrait. The date 1997 appears to the right of Lincoln along with the mint mark if the coin was struck in Denver. This simple but powerful design has remained largely unchanged for decades and has become a defining symbol of American coinage. On the reverse side of the coin you will see the Lincoln Memorial Building in Washington, D.C. This reverse design was introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. If you look very closely at the center of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side of the coin, you can actually see a tiny image of the Lincoln statue sitting inside the memorial building. This remarkable detail is one of the smallest sculptural elements ever placed on a circulating coin. Now let us talk about what collectors really want to know. How can a simple 1997 Liberty 1 cent become extremely valuable and reach a market value of $779,375? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and minting errors. Most 1997 pennies that circulated in everyday commerce are worth only face value or slightly more to collectors. But coins that survive in near-perfect condition or that contain rare mint errors can become highly sought after by serious collectors. One of the most important factors that determines value is the coin's grade. Professional grading services carefully examine coins under magnification to evaluate their condition. Coins that have never circulated and still display their original mint luster are known as mint state coins. When a coin receives a very high grade such as MS-67 or higher, it becomes extremely rare because very few coins survive in such perfect condition after years of handling and circulation. Another factor that can dramatically increase the value of a 1997 Liberty 1 cent is the presence of minting errors. These errors occur during the striking process at the mint and can create unusual features that collectors find fascinating. Examples include double die errors where the design appears slightly doubled, off-center strikes where the coin design is not perfectly aligned, and broad strike errors where the coin spreads beyond its normal shape. Each of these unusual features transforms an ordinary penny into a rare collectible piece of minting history. Collectors also search for coins with exceptional eye appeal. A penny that has a strong bright red color from its original copper plating is far more valuable than one that has turned brown over time. Coins that retain this bright red color are known as red specimens among collectors, and these examples can command significant premiums at auction when they are preserved in pristine condition. The coin collecting market itself also plays a major role in determining value. Over the past several decades, coin collecting has grown into a worldwide hobby with millions of enthusiasts searching for rare coins to add to their collections. Auction houses, professional grading companies, and online marketplaces have made it easier than ever for collectors to discover and compete for rare coins. When a rare 1997 Liberty 1 cent appears in extraordinary condition or with a dramatic mint error, collectors may bid aggressively to secure it for their collection. This is how a coin that once represented just 1 cent of purchasing power can eventually achieve a market value of hundreds of thousands of dollars. When rarity, historical significance, condition, and collector demand come together, the result can be truly extraordinary. If you are watching this video right now, you might even have a 1997 Liberty 1 cent sitting somewhere in your pocket change, coin jar, or old collection. Many people overlook these coins without realizing that certain examples could be valuable. That is why experienced collectors always recommend checking your pennies carefully before spending them. Look for coins with strong shine, sharp details, unusual features, or mint marks that might make them special. Coin collecting is more than just a hobby. It is a journey through history, art, economics, and the fascinating stories of the United States Mint. Every coin carries a story about the time it was created, the technology used to produce it, and the people who handled it throughout the years. The 1997 Liberty 1 cent reminds us that even the smallest coin can carry tremendous historical value and collector interest. What appears to be a simple penny might actually be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered by someone with curiosity and attention to detail. Thank you for joining us today on Rare U.S. Coins. Today we are diving into the fascinating story of the Liberty 1 cent 2001 coin, a small copper-colored piece of American history that most people have probably seen thousands of times without realizing its potential value. Many collectors and coin enthusiasts around the world are now paying serious attention to the 2001 Liberty 1 cent because certain examples of this coin have become highly desirable in the collector's market, and in rare situations the value can reach an astonishing $779,372 depending on condition, rarity, mint errors, and collector demand. The story of the Liberty 1 cent is deeply connected to American history because this coin series is one of the longest-running designs ever produced by the United States Mint. The familiar portrait seen on the modern Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the birth of President Abraham Lincoln. The design was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, and it became the first circulating U.S. coin to feature the portrait of a real historical figure instead of the symbolic Lady Liberty that appeared on earlier coins. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent has gone through many design changes, metal composition changes, and minting updates, but it has always remained one of the most recognizable coins in the United States. By the time the year 2001 arrived, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for more than 90 years, and millions of Americans were using it every single day without realizing that some of these coins could eventually become extremely valuable collectibles. The 2001 Liberty 1 cent was produced at several United States Mint facilities including Philadelphia and Denver, and millions of coins were struck for circulation. At first glance the coin might appear ordinary, but collectors know that the real value of a coin often comes from its condition and from rare minting variations that occur during production. When a coin is preserved in near-perfect mint state condition with full luster, sharp details, and no wear, its value can increase dramatically because collectors are always searching for the finest examples available. The front of the 2001 Liberty 1 cent features the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing to the right with the word Liberty on one side and the year 2001 on the other. Above Lincoln's portrait appears the national motto "In God We Trust," a phrase that has appeared on American coins for generations and reflects a long tradition in U.S. currency design. The reverse side of the coin used in 2001 still featured the classic Lincoln Memorial design, which had been introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. On the reverse you can see the Lincoln Memorial Building in Washington, D.C., and if you look very closely inside the monument between the columns you can even see the tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside, making this one of the most detailed designs ever placed on a circulating U.S. coin. The coin's composition in 2001 consisted primarily of copper-plated zinc, a metal combination that the United States Mint began using in 1982 in order to reduce production costs as copper prices increased. Even though the metal value of the coin is very small, collectors know that the true worth of a coin comes from rarity, condition, historical importance, and collector demand rather than just the metal it contains. This is where the story becomes very exciting for collectors and treasure hunters, because some 2001 Liberty 1-cent coins have been discovered with rare minting errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, unusual planchet flaws, and other unique characteristics that make them extremely desirable in the collector's market. When these types of rare errors appear on a coin that is already preserved in perfect mint state condition, the value can skyrocket to incredible levels, and collectors are willing to pay astonishing prices to add such rare coins to their collections. In recent years the coin collecting market has grown dramatically thanks to online auctions, coin grading services, and international collectors searching for rare American coins. Professional grading companies carefully examine coins and assign them numerical grades that describe their condition, and coins graded at the very highest levels can sell for thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars if collectors compete for them at auction. This is how a seemingly ordinary 2001 Liberty 1 cent can sometimes reach an extraordinary estimated market value of $779,372 when the coin meets the rare combination of perfect condition, special mint characteristics, and strong collector demand. Stories like these are the reason so many people have become interested in checking their pocket change, coin jars, and old collections, because valuable coins can sometimes be hiding in plain sight. Many collectors recommend examining every detail of a coin, including the mint mark, the sharpness of the lettering, the color of the surface, and any unusual features that might indicate a rare variety or minting error. Even the smallest difference can transform a common coin into a rare collectible that collectors are willing to pursue with great enthusiasm. The 2001 Liberty 1 cent also represents an interesting moment in the long history of the Lincoln cent, because it was produced during a time when the United States Mint was modernizing its production technology while still maintaining classic designs that collectors had loved for decades. Just a few years later the reverse design of the Lincoln cent would begin to change again, eventually leading to the Lincoln Bicentennial series in 2009 and later the Union Shield design that appears on modern cents today. Because of this, coins from the early 2000s like the 2001 Liberty 1 cent are part of an important transitional era in American coinage history, making them even more interesting to collectors who appreciate both historical significance and rarity. Around the world, coin collectors are constantly searching for coins that tell a story, and the story of the 2001 Liberty 1 cent is one of hidden value, historical continuity, and the excitement of discovery. Every coin carries with it the journey of where it has traveled, the hands that have used it, and the history it has witnessed. A coin minted in 2001 may have passed through countless wallets, cash registers, and coin jars before finally being noticed by a collector who realizes its potential worth. That moment of discovery is one of the most thrilling experiences in the world of coin collecting, because it reminds us that valuable treasures can sometimes be hiding in the most ordinary places. For viewers of rare U.S. coins, the message is always the same: never underestimate the coins you find in everyday life, because even a simple penny can hold extraordinary value if it has the right characteristics and condition. The 2001 Liberty 1 cent is a perfect example of how a coin that most people overlook can become an exciting collectible worth an incredible amount of money in the right circumstances. As the global coin market continues to grow and more collectors search for rare examples of modern coins, pieces like the 2001 Liberty 1 cent may continue to gain attention and demand among enthusiasts who understand their historical importance and potential rarity. So the next time you receive a handful of change or open an old jar of coins at home, take a closer look because you might just discover a hidden treasure waiting to be recognized. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins that collectors are quietly searching for across the United States, the Liberty 1 cent 2016 D coin. At first glance this coin might look like a simple penny that millions of Americans use every day, but collectors and coin experts know that some of these small copper-colored coins can hold astonishing value, sometimes reaching incredible prices in the collector market. In today's episode we will explore the history, design, rarity, and market demand of the 2016 D Lincoln cent and why certain examples are believed to have collector values reaching around $779,376 when rare characteristics, perfect preservation, and collector demand come together. The story of the United States 1 cent coin begins more than 2 centuries ago when the young nation first began producing its own currency. Over the decades the design changed many times, but one of the most important moments in American coin history came in 1909 when the Lincoln cent was introduced. This was the first circulating American coin to feature a real historical figure instead of a symbolic image of liberty. The face of President Abraham Lincoln was chosen to honor the 100th anniversary of his birth. Since that historic year the Lincoln cent has remained one of the most recognizable coins in the world, and it continues to circulate widely today. Fast forward to the modern era and we arrive at the 2016 Lincoln cent, particularly the version struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark located just beneath the year on the obverse side of the coin. The Denver Mint has produced billions of coins throughout American history, and the 2016 D Lincoln cent was part of the continuing production that supplies everyday change across the United States. Yet within those billions of coins lie rare examples that collectors prize highly. The obverse of the 2016 D Lincoln cent still carries the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln originally designed by Victor David Brenner more than a century ago. Lincoln's profile faces right, a calm and thoughtful image that symbolizes leadership, unity, and American history. Above his head appears the word liberty, a powerful reminder of the ideals that shaped the nation. The phrase "In God We Trust" arches along the top edge of the coin, while the date 2016 and the Denver Mint mark appear to the right of Lincoln's portrait. On the reverse side of the 2016 cent we see the Union Shield design, a modern symbol introduced in 2010 to represent the strength and unity of the United States. The shield features 13 vertical stripes representing the original colonies, bound together by a horizontal bar symbolizing the federal government that holds the nation together. Across the shield is a banner reading 1 cent, while the words United States of America curve above. This design reflects both American heritage and the ongoing story of the nation. While millions of these coins were minted and circulated, the world of coin collecting operates on a completely different level. Collectors are constantly searching for coins in exceptional condition, coins with unique mint errors, and coins that survived circulation without scratches or wear. When a coin like the 2016 D Lincoln cent is discovered in perfect mint state condition, graded at the highest levels by professional grading services, its value can increase dramatically. In rare situations, collectors may encounter coins with extraordinary minting errors. These can include double die impressions where the design appears doubled, off-center strikes where the coin was not properly aligned during minting, or die cracks and other unusual features created during the production process. Such errors transform an ordinary coin into a one-of-a-kind collectible item that can command enormous prices in the numismatic marketplace. The value of a coin is determined by several important factors. The first is rarity. Even if billions of coins were originally produced, very few may survive in perfect condition. The second factor is demand. When collectors become excited about a particular coin, the price can rise rapidly as buyers compete to own the finest examples. The third factor is condition. Coins graded as near perfect mint state by professional grading companies often sell for astonishing amounts of money compared to ordinary circulated coins. For the 2016 D Lincoln cent, most examples found in everyday pocket change are worth only their face value of 1 cent. However, when collectors find coins with exceptional quality, flawless surfaces, sharp details, and strong luster, the story changes completely. Certain rare specimens with unique characteristics have attracted intense attention in the collector market. Some estimates suggest that an extraordinary example of the 2016 D cent with rare minting features and perfect preservation could achieve values approaching $779,376 in specialized auctions where elite collectors compete for the most remarkable coins. The coin collecting community has grown dramatically in recent years, partly due to the excitement of discovering valuable coins hiding in everyday circulation. Many collectors search through rolls of pennies from banks, hoping to uncover rare dates, mint marks, or unusual errors. Others attend coin shows, auctions, and online marketplaces where rare coins change hands for thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. One of the most thrilling aspects of coin collecting is the idea that valuable coins might still be waiting to be discovered. A coin like the 2016 D Lincoln cent may already be sitting in a jar of spare change, a forgotten piggy bank, or a roll of coins tucked away in a drawer. For collectors, the possibility of uncovering a rare specimen keeps the search exciting and never-ending. Another reason collectors are fascinated by modern Lincoln cents is that technology and minting processes continue to evolve. Even with advanced equipment, occasional errors still occur during the production process, creating unexpected varieties that attract attention from collectors and researchers. Each newly discovered variety adds another chapter to the long history of the Lincoln cent series. If you want to begin searching for valuable coins, start by carefully examining the pennies you receive in everyday change. Look closely at the date, the mint mark, and the overall condition of the coin. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling in the letters or numbers, unusual marks, or anything that looks different from a normal coin. Storing coins properly in protective holders can also help preserve their condition and potential value. The 2016 D Liberty 1 cent represents more than just a small piece of copper-coated zinc. It represents history, craftsmanship, and the incredible possibility that something so ordinary could become extraordinarily valuable. In the world of rare coins, even the smallest details can turn a simple penny into a collector's dream worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The market for rare coins continues to grow as more people discover the excitement of numismatics. Collectors from around the world compete to own the finest and rarest examples, and modern coins like the 2016 D Lincoln cent are increasingly gaining attention. As the years pass and fewer perfect examples remain, the value of exceptional specimens can continue to rise. So the next time you receive a penny in your change, take a moment to look at it carefully. That small coin might be more than just a cent. It might be a piece of history, a collector's treasure, or even a rare discovery worth a fortune. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins.